Hi, good evening. You're watching It's About Youth. I'm your host for tonight. I'm Ameer Fakhri, and tonight we will delve into a topic, an important topic ahead of Malaysian upcoming budget, which is youth employment. And we've got two guests with us tonight. And one is Tarmizi Anuwar from Malaysia Country Associate at Consumer Choice Centre, and also Ameer Fakhri, postgraduate student from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Thank you for joining us for tonight's episode. It's a very important episode, which is youth and employment. Now, let's start abroad. We'll begin with Ameer first. When you think about youth employment in Malaysia, what comes to your mind? What picture do you see, Ameer?
Okay, so overview of the job market, the employment there. So unemployment rate in Malaysia is at 3%, stood at 3% last year. So I think it's safe to say that we are now operating at pre-pandemic level. When compared to Singapore, South Korea, Asian developed countries, you can see it's not far off. They're at 2%. But when we zoom in into youth unemployment, the gaps widen. So Malaysia stood at 10.5% last year. Singapore was at 7.8%, and South Korea at just 5.5%. So the gap is wider now. But you know, it's fine. 89.5% of them are still employed and whatnot. But that doesn't tell a full story. So there's a stats in DOSM, Department of Statistics Malaysia. It's about underemployment, where people are employed for job that doesn't match their skills basically, or qualifications. So the underemployment rate among youth is stood at 70%. So that's a quite huge percent there.
True. Mr. I saw you nodding quite a bit there. What do you think? What's your perspective in this? Yeah.
Basically, I just want to echo what Ameer mentioned just now. He did mention about the underemployment, and I mean, we do have a very good unemployment rate, like 3%, but then we are quite concerned about our underemployment. So I think this is really concerning, because the underemployment makes people start to think that they don't want to stay in our country. I think this is one of the problem. When you get paid in very low, so you feel like you are not compensated enough. So because of that, some young people, they are willing to go abroad just to earn more, because they cannot make their proper wage income in in Malaysia itself. So, and I think in general that Malaysia in the process of transitions, we do have a lot of FDI comings, which previously we saw a lot of approval FDI, but it didn't tell whole story, as you mentioned, because for the next, the FDI usually will come like for the next 5 years or 6 years, for instance. So from the FDI, we hope that there are a lot of upcoming high quality job to make sure that we can have a better opportunity in Malaysia.
And each of you have a different perspective from policy, from being a student. So on a personal level, I would like to ask Mizi first. When you first start looking for a job, when it comes to job, especially when you're just starting out fresh from studying, what exactly are you looking for on a personal level?
Yeah, I think in general, I don't just want a stable job, but I want opportunity. I want to be growth. So usually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a job, but at the same time I'm gonna find flexibility job that can suit with me for my career and also for my ambitions. For instance, like if I wanted to pursue my study, if I wanted to do something related with my hobby, so I want to see that the company or the job are very supportive enough for me to accommodate what I want to do, because I think this is really important. Nowadays, as we mentioned, that technology is so fast changing, the transformation is so fast, then we cannot simply like, I don't think that our degree enough or just enough. We need to have our additional knowledge. For instance, like maybe data analytic, for instance, data science, that short course that we can do that can improve our knowledge and also our experience.
And now, I mean, with the budget 2026 is just around the corner, everyone's wondering what it means for the young people. So let me ask, what do you hope to see in the budget when it comes to opportunities for employment in terms of in youth as well?
So here's the thing, from last year's budget, under Measure 17, if I'm not mistaken, there was this new investment incentives. So they made MIDA as a approval authority for any employment pass in regards to non-citizen graduates to local institutions. So I found that a bit interesting because they have spent 3 or 4 years here. Yes, they are non-citizen, but they are very well aware of our culture and whatnot. So transitioning from student to professional, it will be easy for them. But I think this year maybe we can go one step beyond. The ministry can go one step beyond and reduce the red tapes of employing expats. So, but this should be limited to the sectors that we have local shortage or local talent scarce. Why I think it's important is that we want to send signal that we have the talent readiness, you know, even if it's not local talents. We are prepared to take from overseas, from other countries.
Attract talent. Attract talent, yeah.
So, because at the end of the day, it's not just about political stability, currency stability, but they are also looking at talent readiness before investing in offshore. So that is something that I would like to see in this budget. More high value jobs coming in from this investment. Yeah.
Let me bring you in, Amizi. What do you think? What about your perspective in this? Yeah.
For job employment, especially for youth, I think there will be more opportunity for young people outside from the urban area. Because I think, for instance, like we always see farmer is something like not good for our people. I think we need to empower and also emphasize that this particular agricultural sector is one of the biggest opportunity and perspective that we need to explore. And I think we need to have proper explanation and also communications to make people understand that agriculture is no longer dirty, but it's something like useful and sustainable for your country. Another one is, I think, for instance, like maybe we can bring something interesting towards the sector itself, the agricultural. Maybe you can try to engage with technology, robotic, drones technology. This kind of training should be given to the young people, those interested to be part of in the agricultural sector, for instance.
And we've talked about what to expect from the budget when it comes to youth employment. But at the same time, when to find a job for youth, not everyone's journey is smooth. From your circles, your peers, I would like to begin with Ameer first, or even you know, with students, your colleagues and all that. What challenges do you notice, or you yourself notice, that you're facing in trying to land a job? And those challenges don't come out of nowhere. Why do you think it is this? Is it something that has to do with the education system or the job market, or perhaps even maybe expectations?
Okay, so firstly, the challenges that are faced by my peers, most of them said that they've been applying for quite some time, 2 months, 3 months, but they still haven't done any job. And for the fresh grads, you know, like I've mentioned just now about underemployment. So you have these skilled workers, they are going toe to toe with this fresh grad for junior or level entry positions. So it's not easy for them. In terms of why this is happening, it's because we don't have enough high-value jobs to cater for our local graduates. That's the first thing. Maybe because of the investment gaps, economic structure. When we talk about economic structure, we are more focused on low and semi or medium skill industries, right? And finally, it could also be because of skill mismatch, meaning that the industry need one thing, but then the education or institutions produce another thing. So there's a mismatch there.
Mizi, what do you think? What's your perspective? What's your view, or maybe perhaps your experience that you've seen?
think they are multifaceted challenges, but I would say one thing is of course the business sector, the industry, they tend to stagnant with whatever they have right now. I mean that they don't want to change, they're reluctant to change. For instance, to invest for their workers or for their employees. And I think another one is they don't want to change their business from focusing on the low employees, low income employees. For instance, he mentioned just now regarding the we too dependent towards the migrant workers. I'm okay with the migrant workers. I have no problem with that. I think I myself might be one day go abroad to find a better opportunity for me. But what I'm trying to say is to make sure that we have a better productivity in our country, we should have a better high value and high growth jobs. So, and I think it should be someone that we need to attract talent who are in that particular level. So that I think that's one thing. Another one is I think this is my peers' experience itself. For instance, like they have master degree in chemistry, chemical engineering, for instance. Chemical engineering. So, but sometimes they do not know how to enter the job market, particularly on that particular sector or that particular background. So, what he's doing right now, he's doing a Grab job. I didn't say Grab is something bad, but I want to say is we lost talent. We lost talent. So I think we need to have a better pathway for the and guidance for the local graduate, for instance, how they wanted to enter the job market, because I think this is really important to guide people. As I think one of the example that I see right now, Sharifah, she used to be the one person, Sharifah. I always saw her in LinkedIn that she always share how to enter a job market as a local graduate. I think it's really, really helpful.
When we talk about employment, or especially youth employment, the government response is always a whole nation approach, but the bulk of responsibility is on the government. Maybe Ameer, you can weigh in. Why, thinking about the importance of youth employment, why is it important for the government to really take youth employment seriously in the budget? And why does it matter not just for the young people, but for Malaysia itself as well?
So why it's important? Youth is not only the engine of current economy, but they're also the future economic engine of Malaysia. So I think that's why it's important. When you have high unemployment among youth, or maybe they go into employment a bit late, they have lower earnings, lower life earnings, which means they will be more likely to be dependent on government aid once they retire. So you don't want that. And then it's also a loss of revenue for the government. When they don't have the purchasing power, they don't purchase much. There's no tax revenue there, so there's a loss of revenue. For me, that's why it is important.
Do you think it the same way, or do you feel differently? Yeah.
Youth, it's really, really important because it's something like to drive your country, your economic country. It should be by young people who has a high productivity. If these people left your country, I think we're gonna lose a lot of things. Because I give you one example. We can see what is happening right now in Nepal. I used to stay in Nepal before, so I saw a lot of young people. They are talented, but they have to move out from their country just because of they have lack of opportunities, and it caused the stability. It caused of the loss of young people's they have to live abroad because of they want to seek for better opportunity. Another one is, I think it's really important is young people is actually someone who cope with the transformation technology. Because I think nowadays we are moving so fast in terms of the technology, and especially we can see I didn't say older people don't want to change, but I would say young people who are the tech savvy, they should bring our country in the context of transformation more faster compared to the previous one.
Okay, we've talked about what to expect and we talked about why is it important. Now let's talk solutions. Ameer, how do you think the government can create better pathways for youth to find not just jobs but meaningful jobs? You know, whether it's training, incentives, or something else entirely different.
They do have a lot of initiatives in terms of the certification to upskill yourself, but I don't think it's being communicated enough when it comes to that. So not many knows about it.
Yeah. I would like to pitch in one more, which is the government's initiative. I'm pretty sure that we're familiar with. Former Economy Minister Rafiz Ramli has brought this before, the idea of progressive wages in order to attract talent and to retain talent with the rightful amount of wage. What do you think perhaps is lacking, or what do you think of the idea? Perhaps it's a government's idea of trying to make youth employment more fancy than before. Yeah.
Well, I think it's something commendable, but then again, it's coming from the taxpayers' money, so the government is paying the extra money on top of it. So I'm not sure if that is productive. Yeah, I can't tell much about it. Yeah. But that's my take on it. You're using taxpayers' money. It's not coming from the employer side themselves. And after the period, so what happened? You know, are they going to continue with it? The employer's going to take over and pay the same amount, or they just going to go back to the base amount that they've paid before? So yeah.
Mizi, do you think the same, or do you have a different view than Ameer?
Yeah, I think in general, just before I answer that question, I wanted to reiterate on the context of Malaysia. If we look at the international competitiveness ranking, so Malaysia is getting better to this year compared to the previous year. But I think we still have one problematic is actually we still have a lot of hurdles and challenges by the investor to come into Malaysia. And our country as well, sometimes they choose which company they wanted to give exemption. And so I think we need to properly be consistent in terms of our policy. We should reduce barrier in terms of entering our job, our investment in Malaysia. I think it will help lots in terms of encouraging new investment coming into Malaysia. That's one thing. And the second thing is in terms of the wages. I think yeah, it's commendable, but I think it should be more concrete. I would prefer it's not coming from the government. I would prefer it coming from the industry itself or the private sector itself, because I think to retain the employee is not the government job, but it should be the industry and also the private sector job, because that's your employee. So I think the private sector as well need to take responsibility in terms of retain your employee and also give a better compensation to the employee.
Like I mentioned before, the youth employment or any employment issues in the country, it's a whole nation approach. And there has been some comments on social media as well, by perhaps on LinkedIn, we can see that employers are complaining how actually they have jobs, but youth themselves, they're not equipped when it comes to perhaps interviews or anything. But on your side, Ameer, how do you, perhaps and your peers, actually prepare yourself for the job market, or how should they prepare themselves for the job market, and where do you feel that maybe perhaps the government policy could help support that effort in terms of preparing the students themselves to the job market?
Oh, okay. So what me and my peers are doing, we are taking certifications, professional certifications. So that will be an added value, will be an advantage to us when it comes to applying jobs. How the government can help? I think I mentioned just now how what I want to see in the budget is about the hiring aspect with less red tapes. Right? How that would help is there will be transfer of knowledge. You can put a ratio, maybe like for each aspect, you can have 2 or 3 local apprentices. So what they would do is they will be trained by this aspect, and after a while, they will be equipped with the knowledge that we don't have local expertise before. So now we have local expertise. Basically, they're taking the baton from the aspect, and from there onwards, they can then teach those who comes after them. Yeah. So I believe that is the best way to improve our talent readiness.
Mizi, what do you think? Is it the same? You have the same view as well?
I think, yeah, almost similar, but I just want to add some more. Yeah, I myself actually try to equip myself, attended short courses, went to different courses, because I think it's really, really important. Even for myself right now, I'm applying for the for the Power BI Microsoft data analytic, because I think it's really important for me. So even though I'm not learning it, I never learned it before. Even I'm not from what we call it, not from
Data science background.
Yeah, data science background. But I think I would love to, and I'm doing it right now. So that's one thing. And I last week actually I attended a policy roundtable discussions, and we see how Talent Corp, they do some apprenticeship and also internship in terms of helping and educating them for the fresh graduates, not only to enter job market, but to enhance, to take a certificate or also a professional certificate, so then they can have a better opportunity and also pathway. And another one is, I think, from my side, is it's really important as a young people, you have to take responsibility. It's not only everything is by the government. Give you an example. We see some problems right now that people started to think that after finish their school, high school, they straight away wanted to be work in gig economics. I didn't say it's bad, but I would say we have to tell them, and we have to explain to them that you might be able to earn certain amount of money, but it will be stagnant, or even maybe lesser. I give you an example. We see, like, for the past 5 years or maybe 7 years, 2018, 2019, we heard that the Grabs, they will earn around 7,000 or 8,000 a month. But nowadays it's really hard to get that amount, because of the company started to operate in different direction. Previously, they have a lot of promotion as everything. But so I think it's really important as a young people. You have to equip yourself. You have to continue. You have to have a better education and also job opportunity. If you have education, you're going to have a better opportunity. So I think it's really important to have the encouragement and also explanation to the youth. If you finish your study, finish your high school, you should continue to find something like really useful for your future.
That has been an insightful discussion. But before we close, we have like around 2 minutes. So I would like to toss to 1 minute to you, Ameer, 1 minute to Mizi. I'd like to each of you imagine if you can speak directly to our finance minister, which is also our prime minister, Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim, on what's the one thing you would like to say about youth employment. What is most needed? What's important? We'll begin with you first, Ameer. Yeah.
Okay. So I hope to see more high-value jobs. Of course, that's the first thing. But I also want to acknowledge that whichever government it is, there have always been so many good initiatives being taken by the government, whichever it is. but it's not properly communicated.
Mhm.
When you look at the social media, it's more about, like, for example, MOF, right? There's this, most of the posting are about, Madani bekerja or something. Yeah, so it's about the little field trip for the ministers and deputy ministers. So I think that's a bit feudalistic. That's not what me as rakyat wants to see. What we want to see is what are the initiatives there that can benefit us, and we also would like to see how, for example, complex issues, the bill, how it can be broken down into simpler infographics, like how they do in Singapore, in Singapore social media. So I think the ministry maybe can learn from Singapore's example, because at the end of the day, if you can have all of the initiatives that you want in the world, but if no one knows about it, then what's the use? What's the point of it? Yeah. So yeah, communicate better. You want to be informed about it.
Rightly put there. What about you, Mizi?
Just to reiterate what he said just now, so to make sure that the policy can be communicated properly, it should be begin with proper engagement with youth. What I mean is, if you want to do one particular policy or any particular policy, it should have an engagement with the youth before. Sometimes the government always wanted to do policy, but lack of engagement and also insight from the young people or also public in general. So I think the engagement by the government in terms of getting input and also insight from the people, it's really, really important. Even though it might take some time, but even though it takes some time, I think it's really important that it helps people aware what are the issues has been discussed, are discussing, and also from there we can improve our policy communications. So whatever government wanted to do, whatever the government wanted to implement, right, it will be easier received by the people and also accept by the people. Otherwise, it will really, really hard people to understand, or also people to get the informations.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. We would like to thank Tarmizi and Ameer for sharing your thoughts today. It's clear that that employment is important more than just finding a job. It's about shaping the country's, the Malaysia's workforce itself. Now, that's all the time that we have for tonight's episode. And you're watching It's About Youth. I'm Ameer Fakhri, your host for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.